song would have really worked for this movie? Think about it. Making my way downtown. Da 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 da. Tell me that song, like for the beginning of this movie, does not fit. I think it fits it. I really do.
No.
All right,
How?
You start. How? Because it's San Francisco. It's like light weather with like vineyards, and like we have movies in the park. You know, that this tree, this one tree, just so happens to be the absolute perfect bench to sit on. You know, and but it's like that song reminds me of that.
And when this movie ends, you get the J.Lo record loved across the damn mic. Ah!
That song does not fit for this.
At all.
I hate that. I hate it. That's the worst part of the whole movie.
What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the Classics, the Cinematic Movie Podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago. On we're on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, of course, BeatNetworkOnline.com, and now the Beat Network app. I'm your guy, Jay Alonso. With me, of course, is
David Danger Neff. Don't forget Amazon Music as well is where you can also
Amazon Music. We're all over the place. Wherever you get your podcast, we're there. Trust me, we're all over the place.
Spreaker, if you really wanted to go that route. Danger Neff, what's going on, partner? How you doing?
Well, I guess this could be TMI, but my bum hurts. Why does it hurt? Because our guest today took me to my very first cycling class. And I gotta tell you,
is that what we call colonoscopies now?
No, I was actually on an actual bike of my life boy. Now, the guy that
you're so 30.
I'm very 30. I'm like, oh, this is maturing. This is ew. I don't like this at all. This is
you're gonna be part of like the Soul Fit Club now.
No, yeah, but it's like okay. So look, the guy who invented bicycling classes, I'm just gonna call him Stephen G. Bicycle.
That's fair.
We need to fight. Okay. There's no reason why something as cool and common leisure you can do, like riding a bike, is that. Dave, you'd hate it.
I know I would.
You'd fucking hate it.
I know I would. Why do you think I always sit in a recliner when I do this show? You really think exercise goes through my head?
And this is hours later, and I still feel very, very, very small amounts of pain on my rear end, and it's wild.
That reminds me, one time it was an ex-girlfriend of mine's birthday, and I just did like deadlift and squats the day before, and I was in so much pain. I told her, hey, I'm going to take you to Kohl's so you can buy basically whatever you want. And we spent 2 hours in Kohl's. I wound up getting a wheelchair.
Just sitting down.
By the end of that day, I had that thing down pat. I was cutting hard corners, you know. You could put me a murder ball, I'd probably be a star, you know. But we have a guest. We totally have a guest. We haven't even had the chance to introduce her. She looks amazing. Look at that hoodie. Fight the power.
Okay, so this is what now her third appearance on the show.
That's great.
She is awesome. She is debonair. She is super dope. Fitness instructor. And if you peep her picture of her in the background, it's serious. I love it. Fitness instructor Anyika Hunt. What's up, Miss Lady? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. I just got done teaching, so I look a little bit of a mess, but you know.
Word. So let's start with how you got my bum hurting from a bicycle class.
You did really good. He was like going 100 the whole entire time.
I'm not supposed to go that fast. And I was hauling ass, Dave. I was
You were haul assing.
No,
haul ass.
he was. He was. And then I didn't get to explain everything to him because he came in late because he forgot his mask. He had to go back to his car and all
It
this
was
and all
early.
that. So he was going 6 a.m. It was a little early, not too early, but
It was early.
so he was on 10 the whole entire time. But you're supposed to go with the cadence of the music, but no, he was just the whole entire time.
Oh, well,
So
Jay's
he's
also
sweating.
supposed to turn my mic
He's
up, so
sweating
music
and
it's not a flow. It's a running bicycle with a motor in his head.
Here's the thing. I walked in there with so much like, all right, so I walk in there like, I'm gonna ride a bike. I'm gonna ride a bike. Let's go. I'm about to ride a bike. I'm about to haul ass on this bike. I'm about to do hella miles on this bike. Turns out that's not what it is at all. Turns out it's like a synchronized routine on a bike that they do. And you ever like been in a situation where like you're definitely like the new one there, and so but everybody around just like dead on it. So you're you're stuck with this.
I used to go to Stoney's. I know what it's like to fuck up the line dance.
Yo, listen, you're like stuck in this vibe like.
Sir, do you know how to two-step? The fuck is that?
And they're just like,
just put on the cha-cha slide and I'll be good.
Go left, go right, one arm on your back, switch arms, flip off, flip back on, and everybody's going in like sync like this. Wow, this is wow. And I'm the one like lone guy like just kind of just pedaling like, all right. Okay.
You did good. I'm so proud of you. You did really good for your first class.
I'm gonna go back.
Now, it was your birthday, though. Like a couple of days ago, we saw the pictures on FB. You turned the big 3-0. I mean, I'm not going to say. Oh, all right. Well, if you're going to say it, all right. But happy birthday to you. We're
Happy birthday. I was there, but happy birthday.
Thank you.
Neff, how was your week, bro?
Yeah, man. It was cool. Like, I got a new TV, so I set this thing up, and other than that, like, I've been on this. Oh, I bought like a Ninja blender, which has so helped with like making like all sorts of my like creations I've been like wanting to do. So I made cauliflower mash today. Other than that, I've been trying to expand the idea of watching different movies than what's currently out there. I watched a movie with Jamie Lannister, the actor who plays Jamie Lannister. It's called The Silencing. It was super Canadian for the first like 50 minutes of this movie. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then it cranked it up. And I'm like, you know what? I'll never watch this again. But it was all right. It was cool. It's an older movie.
Super Canadian, huh?
What does super Canadian feel like?
Like the meanest that somebody like would call somebody is like a jerk. They don't even have they have guns, right? But it's not like an assault rifle, which is why I'm always expecting it's a rifle. And they hunt with bow and arrows and a weapon called an alado, which I had no idea what it was, but it was like this. Think of like an arrow that's like, I don't know. This thing looked like it was about 2 feet long for an arrow. So a 2-foot arrow. And it has like this, like a slingshot thing. And you like throw it and this thing just like darts out, right? And I'm like, all right, that was kind of cool. And like my mom like looked at me and she's like, is that real? I was like, I don't know. But that shit is cool.
but it's dope. I'll tell you that much.
Like it's a super ancient, weapon that people sell, and I'm like, I'm not a hunter, so I don't really know, but I'm gonna believe you. Like 100-foot, things flung at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm like, oh my god.
Anyika, how was your week?
My week was good. It was like a long birthday celebration.
It was a turn up week for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely an exciting week. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I was very happy to be a part of it. So. Yeah. So let's see here.
So talking about your ass, let's go ahead and get into some movie news. But before we get into some movie news, we have
cycling class. Hey man, listen. Cycling class is real. Okay, you wanna sweat? I mean, really sweat. Cycling class.
So we've been kind of holding off on this information. This was kind of this idea that came together. It's two ideas that came with Beat Network that we wanted something to kind of change. And I'll be the first one to say this. The second idea. All right. So the second idea was in a response to Jay's illness when he had the surgery, and things were kind of up in the air for him. So I decided to.
I was dead.
I mean,
dead.
I was kind of counting that you were. So I had to make sure that the show must go on. I'm just kidding.
But Jay's dead.
But Dave's still alive, so I mean,
But Jay's dead. That's what they was saying.
Right. So what we decided to do was a couple of things. So first and foremost, February is Black History Month, which is awesome. Now, we decided last year, for those of you who remember, we did the Artist Showcase and we did Denzel Washington movies.
Second annual Artist Showcase next month.
And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing Denzel, looking at some of his older movies and kind of getting into there. Now looking back, I really wish that we could have extended it even to more episodes because I would have loved to talk about oh my God, what's the one? Blues, Biloxi.
Oh my God, Devil in Blue Dress. I wanted to do Pelican Brief. I wanted to do
Courage Under Fire.
Yeah, he has so many of them.
I watched Courage Under Fire like the other day, and that movie was top notch. So this year, though, initially we were going to do a female Black artist. And then the culture was shook about 6 months ago. And almost immediately after it happened, I presented the idea to Jay to go ahead and, hey, why don't we go ahead and move forward? Because the first time we'd be able to even talk about this artist in terms of his material wouldn't be for another 10 years. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to talk about the impact that he had. So next month, Artist Showcase is going to be Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman for Artist Showcase next month. I've been looking forward to Artist Showcase next month because second annual Artist Showcase that we introduced since last year. But this upcoming month, we have guests on every episode. It's going to be a little celebration. We might as well go ahead and announce the movies that we're going to cover, right? Because that's our focus for the month.
No, it's going to be very simple. We're going to kick things off with 42, which is the biopic on Jack Robinson. Obviously, we're going to then move it over to Get On Up.
Get On Up,
which is the biopic on James Brown. We are then going to move it to Thurgood for Thurgood Marshall, first Black Supreme Court Justice. This is not covering his Supreme Court Justice years. This is when he was still a lawyer. So Thurgood or Marshall is the name of the movie. And we are ending it with the first actual MCU movie will be covering Black Panther, of course.
The biopic of Black Panther.
Pretty much it's a biopic of Black Panther. we're gonna make sure that we, I mean, pretty much, we're gonna make sure that we cover through everything and kind of re-celebrate his life. It's been 6 months. I know people are still probably hurting, especially now that MCU has started dropping new material with WandaVision, and more material will be dropping throughout there. I believe Falcon and Winter Soldier's next. I can't.
That would be next. I think it's like April or something like that. It's soon though, for sure.
It's right around the corner.
Yep.
The bottom line is that we're doing Chadwick Boseman Artist Showcase. Make sure you tune in. We're dropping it every Thursday.
It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to talk about it. And this episode is actually also very special as well because not only with our guests, me and our guests shared a heartbreaking moment. Talk about greats who are fallen greats. Today, as we record this show, we are unfortunately reminiscing on the life and career of Black Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant, who passed away a year ago today. And not only Kobe, but his daughter Gianna Bryant, and I want to say 6 others.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 6 others, including the pilot. Obviously, very sad day, but we wanted to make sure that we covered, Chadwick and obviously rest in peace, Kobe. I can't believe it's been a year, but at the same time, last year took forever. So it is what it is. The other thing that we are doing.
Well, before that, Anyika, we were watching a god awful movie called John Henry. When we got the news when Kobe passed away. Do you remember that? Do you remember that moment?
I remember the culture being so mad about it.
That was trash. That movie.
Listen,
I watched it until I heard everybody trash it, and I'm like,
I will never watch that shit again. Ever watch that shit again. Because one, it's god awful. 2, it reminds me of the day we found out that Kobe passed away. Anyika had to come for me like that was my cousin. I was like, I was so just distraught at the news that Kobe Bryant had passed away. You know.
Yep.
So R.P. Kobe, R.P. Gianna, and the rest that lost their lives, no doubt. Tragic day.
Now, the second bit of news that we wish to cover. Again, this was kind of based on a response. And then this kind of kicked things off. I want to welcome to the actual family now, both Selena Sauce and Duval Brown as new members of Beat Network. They are going to be doing a second show under BTTC with the name Cinema Rehab. And the whole point of the show is not so much that it's going to be about any one thing. It's going to be about all things movies. So what I mean by that is we're going to be having things like movie reviews and trailer reviews that we'll wind up throwing into there. Very similar to how we did Reel It Back. We're also going to be doing we're going to be doing remakes versus classic. So taking a look at a remake of a movie versus the classic version of that movie and decide which once and for all is actually better, having you as the users vote on it. We're going to be throwing in so many ideas. I've been in constant contact with them. It's a daily thing, me doing so. Now, will Jay and I hop on that show? Absolutely. The entire idea of why we're doing this is a little bit because of burnout. Jay and I have been doing the show essentially. Jay's been doing it for 4 years, 5 years. I've been doing
it's now year 5.
Yeah. And I've been doing it for close to 3 now, right? A little over 3, I think. Something like that. I've been doing this a long time also. Now we haven't, any time that we've taken quote unquote a break, the show shuts itself down. It's like, something happens and then we're out for 5 to 6 weeks. For a while with Jay, a lot of it was based upon his health, where we would just kind of shut down. Now, when the last time this happened, I was able to get a few guests on there and we were able to kind of cover. Now the idea would be is that this gives everybody a chance to have a break somewhere, shape, or form, where we're not getting burned out, we're not getting shit material, because nobody wants shit material, right? So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really awesome project. And keep in mind, this shit is dropping February 2nd. We're not waiting until summer to let this drop. This is dropping. First episode drops in just a little over a week now. Actually, a week from today's recording is when the first episode drops. So make sure you check that out. It will drop every Tuesday. It is our second show. BTTC presents Cinema Rehab.
I couldn't have said it better.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait, because I know you and I are going to hop on there and really kind of come up with some weird ideas of like. Oh
yeah. Both Duval and Selena have told me about stuff they want me to do, so they want us to do. So I'm looking forward to checking it out for sure. Trailers. Raya and the Last Dragon and Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, Raya and the Last Dragon, I happen to see today, as a matter of fact. And Anyika, this is a movie that's right up your alley. This is a movie that you would gladly pop on Disney Plus, get some wine, and just wild out to some good old Raya and the Last Dragon. What's it about? I don't know.
She pops a bottle of wine and,
bottle of wine and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Has such a lovely evening watching Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah. But yeah, this is right around. So, what it's about, I couldn't tell you. But I think the graphics look fantastic. I think it's classic Disney. So that's my review of that one. What I want to talk about is Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it, Jay. Let's go ahead. Now, I've been adamant about not watching the trailer, so much so that when the trailer hopped on the TV for whatever reason while we were watching playoff football, I left the room. I was like, no, I don't want anything to be spoiled. Part of the reason why I don't want anything to be spoiled is because this is the perfect movie to decide to spoil everything if they possibly could.
I cannot agree with you more. This is the kind of movie that in a trailer alone will show you the movie. However, the execution of this trailer, the way this trailer comes together, I'm left looking like,
no, that's great.
This shit is so cool. Like, listen. Like, Freddy versus Jason, we got it. No, listen. There we go. Freddy versus Jason, we got it. We got other matchups, classic matchups. Godzilla versus Kong. I'm not gonna say none else on the trailer because you haven't seen it yet, or you're not gonna watch it. I'm just telling you. If I'm judging the movie just strictly off of the trailer, that probably to me it's now the best trailer in 2021, and that's by a long shot because nothing else has come out yet. But a trailer's job is to get you hyped for the movie that's coming out. Show you something. Ooh. You have to do a bunch of that, a bunch of oohs, right? For 2.5 minutes, I'm a ooh fool. All I'm doing is ooh, that was cool. That was cool too. Fuck you! I can't wait to watch that shit. Like, I'm Team Kong all day. I'll tell you right now. Like, Godzilla has little ass arms like a dinosaur. Whatever. I'm Team Kong all day. If you give me what I saw in this trailer, plus like 10 more, and then obviously I know that they're gonna go the Batman versus Superman route and team up later on. Cool, I'm not bugging, but at least for the first third, kill each other. That's what I want. Godzilla vs. Kong. Soundtrack by Pharrell. I don't know. I'm not making that up at this point. But yeah.
Sounds amazing. Can't wait to see it. It was initially supposed to drop March 26, 2021. It has been pushed back 5 days.
Yeah, a week, yeah.
March 31st, 2021. So, and if you are a subscriber to HBO Max, it will be dropping on HBO Max. So please make sure you check that out. There is a movie I kind of want to check out that's dropping here in like 3 days.
Little Things.
Denzel.
Yeah.
Jared Leto. I can't remember the last guy, but he's a big name actor.
Rami Malek, Mr. Robot,
You,
or Freddie Mercury, depending how you know him.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. That will also drop if you're a subscriber to HBO Max. It will also be on there as they kick off Wonder Woman. Thank God.
Thank God, it's horrible.
It's so bad. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. All this talk of movies and promotion and whatnot, and we haven't gotten to the main star, the main attraction here.
And this is going to be a movie that I know for a fact that there's going to be a lot of disagreements because we have two people who hate the movie, and one person who
I hate it. I did find myself laughing.
So hate, love, neutral.
Mary, yeah.
Okay, hate, love, men.
Yeah.
Meh.
All right, we'll go with that. So we're taking it back to 2001, which is a very awkward year to me. It's just an awkward year.
A bad year. It was a bad year for movies. I ain't gonna lie.
It was, boy.
We're covered all 52 weeks.
Slim pickings, for sure.
Because we are fucking professionals, and we take ourselves for the show.
When I saw the schedule, I said, "Did you? Whoa! Who saw that? Oh my god!" Man, we'll get to it.
It was so painful. It hurt me so bad. I was like, "Why?"
Slim pickings, man. Taking it back to 2001 with the romantic comedy J.Lo and All Right, Matthew McConaughey with The Wedding Planner. Original release date January 26th of 2001. Has a production budget of $35 million with a box office total of $95 million. Currently at a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
By audience.
Huh?
59% by audience.
Nigga, 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that bad?
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, that's bad.
By the way, that's out of 100.
So I'd say it's pretty bad.
Whatever.
So obviously, ladies go first. And my question to you about this movie, because we watched it the other day. No, I'm lying. We watched it a week ago.
It was longer than that.
Yeah. Once we had decided that she was gonna do the show, we watched it at the crib 2 weeks back. My problem is.
So hold on. So you prepped for this episode 2 weeks ago?
No,
and decided
we watched it. We watched it before you even told me about this. I wanted to watch it just to watch it. Remember?
That is very true. That is so true.
Yeah. And then you told me about this, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to do it.
I want to watch it right now." So, for me, watching this movie, unfortunately for me, the minute the credits start rolling, I forgot. I completely forgot the entire thing. Like, I forgot the entire movie just that quick. Like, Massimo, when you said Massimo, I said, who the fuck is that? Oh, I remember what that is. Yeah. Duh. So, did you see this movie in theaters?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did too.
It was my birthday weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Jay, you saw this in theaters?
I was in fucking middle school on a date. Shut up. Shut up. I was trying to impress this girl. She liked J.Lo. I wanted to touch a boob, so we went to the movie, saw Wedding Planner.
I will watch The Wedding Planner for one booby touch, one titty touch.
Just one.
And she's like, no. And you're like, I get to glance at them once in a while.
Now, have you seen this movie prior to today, Dave?
Me? No. Nope.
He said, I stayed away.
I knew of the movie. I even asked my sister, who loves movies, obviously, and she's like, "It's okay." I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, I guess I'll watch it. So, let's kick this movie off because.
But it was nuts because this is around the time when J.Lo is on fire. She's booking movies like every 3 months.
This was that moment that like J.Lo like became J.Lo.
Right.
Because she dropped the album, I think the year before, she had the green dress like 3 years before. Oh God, that green dress. And then she pulled it off like 20 years later, even better looking. And I'm like, how?
She's literally a year removed since she's 2 years removed since the P. Diddy shooting in New York.
Yeah.
She got off that. Selena is still kind of fresh.
Well, Selena is a little bit older, but
a little older, yeah.
People were definitely revisiting it at that time. No,
right.
She's like at this point, J.Lo was either right at the point of entering her peak, or was maybe 6 months to a year removed away from it. But man, she was like right there, and she was there for a little bit.
I never found her to be a good actress, like at all. Like
she did good in Hustlers.
She's great in Hustlers. Great. And Selena too, but everything in between.
Well, Selena, she's actually underrated, and I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That was like a love project for her. You could tell.
Anyika, what's your favorite J.Lo performance?
I don't know a favorite. I like her and Selena.
Super Bowl halftime with Shakira. That was awesome.
That particular part was amazing. That was like a wow. I'm like, look at all them bones, look at all them hips just, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that going on.
I ain't really complaining.
Kick us off.
All right, so this movie kind of starts out really nice. I ain't gonna lie. They're in this wedding venue, and you get introduced to Mary Fiore as this little girl who is imagining her own wedding, right? And it's really cute. She's over here with the beautiful dress on a Barbie, and they live happily ever after, right? And you get the idea. Fast forward to some years later. Go ahead. No, you already got something.
At this point, I'm just like.
So, fast forward to some years later, and Mary is a wedding planner in San Francisco for a pretty big firm. Now, I don't know much about the wedding firm or about the wedding planning industry, but I want to talk about the firm before I talk about her work, because this firm makes it seem like this is like a lawyer business. Like, I'm getting clients like left and right, we got to make sure that we cover this. We got to make sure we cover that. And I'm like, look, wedding planning takes a lot, but a firm, like an actual firm, like this is, you hire temp workers to like come in and answer your phones and whatnot. You got
they're women. What you want to do?
And gay men, but it was a little stunning to kind of see like this be like a real like thing. Like usually when I think of like event planning, wedding planning, I think of the solo person who I who honestly I think of Monica from Friends. She has like the headset on and talking to different people, but she's like doing this from like a computer, like an Apple Mac, and that's it, right? No, this is a building. This is rented space in San Francisco, where this is like an actual. It's like going to beauty school for Avalon Industries, and they're like you got like floors and tiers of like how good of a wedding planner you can be. So I didn't really find that believable.
No. You're here. You want to go up there. You're going to go there. You're here right now. No.
Weddings under $10,000, we only meet in the basement. Everything $2 million and up, you get the penthouse suites.
Damn, a $10,000 wedding and
basement.
You're low class for that?
So
wow.
So Mary Fiore is in this like wedding that she's clearly like kind of doing and whatnot, and she's just and J.Lo's just like taking over. It's kind of nice. She's very professional. Like there's this girl with like, okay, I really remember this part because I was just staring at the chest at this point. There's this girl with like her dress isn't working with her cleavage, and she basically takes like a chip clip. It almost looks like a clip you put for potato chips, and just kind of like she's cleavage all of a sudden. It's like, all right, cool, like whatever, right? She has like this
fanny pack.
Do you remember? It is a fanny pack. It is definitely a fanny pack. You remember Eurotrip?
Yeah.
Remember the dude with the fanny pack that like knew everything in Europe that there is to know, and he's like pulling out like random stuff. That's what she has, but it's for like useful stuff. Like she has crazy glue to have crazy glue, and and it gets used later on, which is so stupid. I could stand it. But anyways, you get the idea that she's kind of doing all this. And everybody's like, oh, that's the wedding planner. She must live like a really awesome life. And you like check in on her life. And of course, it's super lonely. She has OCD about everything. She has a tray for her food to put on top of a TV tray that's holding her food, and she's watching like, what's that one? It's the auctioneer's one.
Antique something, some kind of antique.
It's like Antique Roadhouse. That's what it's called. Antique Roadhouse. Mm-hmm. She's like super into it. And then like she falls asleep and, whatever. She wakes up the next day and she hears rumors from a magazine of like a party who's basically looking for a wedding planner. And she takes this up with her boss, Jerry, played by Kathy Najimy, who was in like Rat Race. You know who she was? I know
who she is.
Yes.
But once again, this movie leaves my
Hocus Pocus.
This movie leaves my brain so quick. I forgot she's even in it. I forgot she's in
it. But she's in it, and she's like, I built this business on my back, and she's like, and like J.Lo is like, yeah, but you never made any money with it. She's like, I make more money than your other wedding planners combined by 5. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, so why do you need all these other wedding planners? like, why do you need this building? Why is this law firm still put together?
Why is this happening?
So, anyways,
somebody has to take care of the little weddings while someone takes care of the big weddings.
Once again, you're here. You want to go up there,
right?
But you're here right now.
The concierge of weddings, like look, wedding planning takes a lot to do so. I can't imagine that this is. I don't want to say it's like a lucrative career, but the way they are presenting this is like it's presented as like we have competing firms against each other. It's like that's just I really don't think the wedding wedding dresses is a different story, but wedding planning, no, I don't see that. Anyways, she requests to become partner of the company. She lands this thing, right? And she's hired to plan the catering for heiress Fran Donnelly, played by my childhood crush, Sampras' wife. Why is her name? Oh, there it is.
Bridget Wilson.
Bridget Wilson Sampras.
Sonya Blade.
She was my childhood crush. She was one of them for sure. But
she was in a movie called Love Stinks with French Stewart and Bill Bellamy. And
I love that movie. I love that movie.
I happen to really like that movie a lot.
She's a decent actress in my eyes, but it was like after she married Pete Sampras, like she had no interest in acting again. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I mean, you're just dating one of the, you're married to one of the greatest tennis players to ever play the game. That's cool. Like, whatever. So at this point, J.Lo goes and she's talking on the phone about how excited like her life and career is going, and her foot gets stuck in a manhole. Her Gucci shoes get stuck in a manhole. Now, Anyika, has a heel of yours ever gotten stuck in a manhole before?
No, not in Las Vegas.
Hold on, where?
In some dirt before, in some rocks before, in some grass.
No. A manhole. An actual manhole. No. How often do shoes get stuck in manholes? Like, is this a known problem? Is this like, does this happen all the time, Jay?
To the point where you don't like you literally don't see it coming. You just
right.
Oh no, I'm in a manhole.
So here's why this scene kind of makes me laugh. So as her shoe gets stuck there, you clearly see McConaughey in the background. Like, I'm looking at the scene, I'm like, that's McConaughey. And the reason why I know it's McConaughey is because McConaughey has vomit-inducing hair, and that thing, nobody ever wanted that hair color before McConaughey wore it. And then other people wore it.
He's hot with that dirty color hair.
You wouldn't date nobody with that barf hair.
I would date him in that barf hair.
Listen, I knew
you're not dating for his hair. You're dating for, bicep 1 and bicep 2. That's what you're dating for.
You date for the all right. But by the way, I knew he was around without even seeing him in the frame. Like, I could just hear all right, somewhere in the fucking frame. Like, he's over there, but I can guarantee it. You know what I'm saying?
So this taxi driver who's holding a cone of ice cream licks his ice cream off the cone, of course. And instead of, being responsible and, I don't know, pulling over, he just kind of keeps going at his speed, which is like 20 miles an hour. And he dodges her, hits the side of a trash can. And this dumpster is rolling downhill. And it's San Francisco. A rolling downhill dumpster is going to roll all the way into the bay. I mean, it is going into the bay.
Highly unlikely that shit would actually happen.
She is stuck there pulling out her Gucci shoe when McConaughey comes out of nowhere and basically saves her. And I guess during the fall, she gets injured. And, he starts, saying whatever. When she wakes up in the hospital and she meets her rescuer.
Wait, you skipped it. That's the moment. That is the moment. That's the moment that that there are all kind of sparks, and that is where that's where it all happens right then.
By the way, tonight we're gonna prove something. If they fell in love in a matter of days, or a matter of weeks, or a matter of months, in my opinion, they fell in love in 3 fucking days. That's me though.
It wasn't.
Not even.
It wasn't 3
I
days.
think you're giving too much credit to the amount of days. It was maybe 18 hours.
I like you.
No.
I like you too. It's all right.
She wakes up at this children's hospital, right? She wakes up at this children's hospital where he's able to treat her, meets her in the office, and like Judy Greer comes out of nowhere. I don't know. Why would she look in a pediatrician's hospital? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but she's there, and then she's like trying to like, hey, what's up? And she's like, my friend's like totally single, and I'm like, why are you guys hooking her up? Why aren't you shooting your shot, like, or shooting your egg, or whatever it is?
Like she was shooting her shot on behalf of Jen. I'm just like,
why? But
you thought he was cute too, didn't you?
Right. Well, we don't know if she had a boyfriend or anything because it wasn't about her. She was trying to get her friend out of her 6-year slump.
Have you ever gotten a friend out of 6-year slump?
Yeah.
You have? What's her name? Or what's his name?
Well, I have, and I was single, but I would rather, like people do that. Girls do that. Well, I do that.
Like you thought the guy was cute, but you hooked your girlfriend up with the guy?
What?
Did I hear that right? No, I heard that wrong, didn't I?
No. Dave said guy. I didn't say guy. I said friend. But I'm just saying, it could happen. Who knows if she had a boyfriend? We don't know that.
Look, I'm not saying that like I haven't like told a friend of mine about a girl that maybe I wasn't interested in, but like the way she was like thirsting over, and then like that evening. So keep in mind, unconscious with a shoe, right? With the shoe thing, they meet up that evening for like this movie in a park kind of thing. By the way, also J.Lo's really good at Scrabble because you get to meet her dad early on.
If you're gonna plan weddings, you better be really good at Scrabble.
Absolutely. I don't even know what that is. It also pisses me off that like they're making her play Italian, and she literally looks about as Latina as you can. Like, I picture Latina, and she's usually the first person I think of. I don't picture Italian when I think of her. Like, Italian, Sicilian, and Italian women look nothing like J.Lo.
That always happens.
Yes.
That always happens back in the day. Like, J.Lo, who's clearly Latina, played an Italian. It's like, when her father showed him, like, she's clearly not Italian. But, all right. We'll let that rock. It's cool.
South African. So they go to this park thing, and I really, really have to trash this scene a little bit because there's a mistake that happens in this scene. And here's what happens. So they go to this park to watch this movie. Pop quiz, Jay. What was the movie that was playing?
He can't even remember the movie.
2 Tickets to Broadway. Janet Leigh and Tony Martin for those actual classic movie fans. I'm just kidding.
Good job.
So they're in the scene. They get this convenient little tree to like hang out, and he's like, this is so pretentious. He's like, oh, I only eat the brown M&Ms. And I'm like, and immediately my mind went to racism. I was like, why? Because you don't like black people?
Well, he loves Latina.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. That's orange.
I didn't say he's a
red for the Indian, blue for people who are drowning. So like he's eating these M&Ms and he's all like, oh, because of the artificial coloring in it, maybe I'm like, maybe I'm not getting as much artificial coloring as possible. And I'm like, dude, no, that's not how that. Anyways, that's not how that works. They decide to dance, right? And during this dance, it gets really romantic, but then he says something, and I can't quite remember the line, but she goes, "Oh, you're gay." And he's all like,
He said
"Yeah,
she
I'm
asked
gay."
him about how he learned how to dance.
Oh, yeah, and he's all like ballroom dance, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're gay," like
Why'd
that.
you hold on to it?
I don't know, but like she's like, "You're gay," and he's all like, "Yep, I'm the gayest." And then there's a pause, a really awkward pause, and she says, "Oh," and then the next line is spoken from McConaughey, and the mistake that's there is she forgot her fucking line, and they just rolled with it. I'm not kidding. Watch the scene. It's so freaking awkward. You just called this dude gay, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the gayest," and then you're like, "Oh," and then like the movie like continues. I'm like, "What is this? What is this hot garbage that I've just watched?" They put that in the final cut of this movie.
You've seen worse. We've all seen worse.
No, I've seen worse. But for a movie that has a $35 million budget and it's a romance movie or whatever it's supposed to be, like the writing in this movie is so stupid. Like Judy Greer's all talking about. I was telling Jay off camera, I was like, this movie is specifically made for people who really missed the year 2001 because it was
Specifically 2001.
specifically the year 2001.
You know what? You know what my dynamite year was? 2001. Let's bring them days back, baby.
That was when, Yahoo was big and I was really into my Palm Pilot.
But I was saying aim me. That was the thing to say, aim me.
Nobody even talks like about iPhones in a movie. Like I never really hear that. Like, oh, I need to get my iPhone. I hear cell phone, I hear phone or cell phone, or if it's British, mobile, European, whatever, mobile. I never hear somebody literally go out of their way for product placement for Palm Pilot. That's bad. That's bad.
Nigga, did you own a Palm Pilot?
No.
No. Pager?
No. I owned 2001 I was like 14. No. I didn't own technology. I owned a PS2.
I had a pager and got no pages. like one time it was so pathetic because when I was finally getting pages, it would go off. But when I first got one, I wanted a page so bad just to impress somebody. I called my damn silly. I paged myself. Nope. Oh, you know what? I'm busy.
Jay, I didn't know you really wanted to be a doctor. Because that's literally the only time I ever see pagers being used.
Yeah, because there's no other reason for us anyone to have a pager. Think about the unuse of a pager. Because once you get a page, you just have to find somewhere to call a person back.
Right.
By then, the emergency is over at that point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, onwards with this movie. So basically, they decide to go. They're interrupted by a heavy downpour with a kiss. At a dance lesson with the client, Mary encounters Fran, and Fran wasn't supposed to be there. But come to find out, Eddie, her fiance, is supposed to be there. Lo and behold, it's shithead McConaughey.
The stare down happens.
Who is the biggest jerk now in this movie, for basically wanting to cheat on his girl. And they decide to do like this little tango. And
this is like my favorite part.
The tango's really nice. and they're arguing, which kind of it goes along with how a tango is supposed to go, because tango is supposed to be basically an argument. It's a seduction dance, especially the Argentine version. But it's like it was probably one of the best parts of the movie. I will say it.
Why is this your favorite part? Why is this your favorite part?
I don't know. It's just the tension and the dancing, and I'm telling you, it comes from that very first part when they first met to the part when they were in the rain, and now this part with them dancing. Like, it just shows their chemistry, and it just makes you fall in love with both of them being together.
I remember when we watched it, and I know with Anyika, I listen out for these cues, right? And it's a simple sound. It's a
but rom-com girl, don't do me.
Like, he's proud for that. His girl is there.
I know, but still.
Playing the biggest idiot, by the way. She has no clue. Like, y'all never met before. Y'all are strangers.
Why don't you two dance with each other?
Somebody you never met until just now. Y'all dance. You're getting fucking married. You dance.
The dance instructor, he must have not been busy that weekend, because for some odd reason, Fred Willard is the dance instructor, and he's got this like. He's got this goatee that you can clearly tell is glued on, and it just looks like a hedgehog is growing from his chin.
When you start down here, you move up.
They go, you get the Fred Willard. That's what you paid for. $2 million wedding, you get Fred Willard. By the way, totally forgot about one other important character in this movie, because in a way, this character could easily be cut that out. There's no point to his character in this movie outside of creating tension. And it's Alex Rocco and his ugly ass, Massimo. And Massimo is basically a chauvinistic Italian who is supposed to be having an arranged marriage with J.Lo. And it's his idea. It's not J.Lo's idea whatsoever. She's not really interested in the guy. And when Massimo first comes on screen, immediately you're thinking, okay, this guy's going to be an idiot. And he is, for the most part.
The biggest.
And he kind of gets a little bit better throughout the movie. You find out he's actually kind of a nice guy. He's a good guy. Women, for some odd reason, find him attractive. I didn't think Sid the Sloth was attractive in Ice Age. Apparently, the human version of that.
He wasn't for you.
I know he's not for me.
He wasn't for you. He's like, yeah.
I just didn't think women would be attracted to Sid the Sloth. I thought Manny probably had something there, but goes to show what I know. Anyika, do you find Massimo attractive? Is he the kind of guy you'd go after?
No.
Just settle for Massimo if barb hair was unavailable.
No. They could have picked someone better for that.
They could have, but ironically, he may just be that guy.
So, where we at? Penny persuades Mary that her career is more important than her feelings, but she's pissed that Eddie is actually engaged.
So they basically go up to at that point, Mary is like, no, I'm going to focus on my career. I'm basically going to treat this guy like shit, which she kind of does, which kind of makes a little bit of sense. And for some odd reason, she has to visit the wedding venue with them up in Napa. Napa is not close to San Francisco. I know a lot of people think it is. It's 3 hours out, for
at least
wine country.
At least. Napa is nowhere near San Francisco.
And of course, the one thing that doesn't make sense about this movie is how the fuck these side characters keep finding them. Because Massimo shows up at this wine at this vineyard. And I get it, he's Italian.
The dad told him.
Why are people so interested in where Mary is on a day-to-day basis? You could have easily just said, "Hey, Mary is." This is my favorite part of the movie, actually, because it's so bullshitish. It's amazing. So, of course, Eddie gets a little jealous of Massimo when he announces the engagement in front of everybody. So they decide to kind of have like a man-to-man test against each other. Massimo is outclassing McConaughey in things like wrestling and chin-ups. Chin-ups. They have his biceps like on the screen.
I got something to say. Nika, we're a couple. I love you, darling. I do. Do you honestly think I'm gonna have a full-blown workout competition with another motherfucker? What?
Oh, no. Here's the balls that Massimo has. Not only does he challenge him to another competition, he's outclassing him. He's doing better than him.
Why a long shot? Actually, like
run like a man. Run like a man. Run like
a man.
Massimo's over here. He's like, what number are you at? He's like 65. I'm like 65. You're at 65.
He's like, me too. What number are you at again?
So while riding through the estate with Fran's parents, Mrs. Donnelly, which I actually thought this was kind of funny, Mrs. Donnelly, who's been begging to sing at the wedding, played by Joanna Gleason, begins to sing, and it's so bad it scares the horse that that Fran is on, and the horse, or not Fran, that Mary is on, and it takes off. Luckily, being saved by, of course, Eddie. And
who jumps to her rescue immediately on typical all right fashion. He's on that horse chasing after her.
Now, here's the part that kind of confuses me. Why isn't Bridget Wilson Sampras questioning any of this behavior whatsoever? She's like, no, Mary, you can ride back with Eddie. Like, bitch, are you an idiot? Are you that retarded string bean you called yourself earlier? Like, why are you doing this? No, she can walk. Or she can ride with my father or whatever. Like, why does she have to ride with Eddie?
Now the next part,
her character is supposed to be strong and independent, and so that would be the reason why I would think that she would be like, whatever to the whole situation, is because they're portraying her as not like this jealous, clingy type, because she's like a boss. So like she's not worried about like things like that. So I think that's probably why they're portraying her like that.
All right.
The next part that I hate this part. At home, Mary scolds her father about the whole set up marriage thing.
Yeah.
The father then convinces her, I choose an arranged marriage, and look, we fell in love. So
he kind of sells the scene like this, like she couldn't even look at me on my wedding day. Well, what?
She doesn't fucking know you.
She doesn't know you.
This is weird.
She's supposed to put out that evening, apparently, and she doesn't even know you. You don't have chemistry whatsoever. I was in an arranged marriage, and I turned out fine.
That's why I like things like 90 Day Fiancé is like, this isn't fucking real. No way.
I hate 90 Day Fiancé because it's so awesome.
I have 3 months to like you. Fuck that. I'm cool. I'm cool.
So, while visiting another potential venue, Fran reveals that she's going on a week-long business trip and leaves Mary and Steve to continue preparation. and they apologize for being wrong to each other and soon become friends. And this is kind of a cut that out. She's like, Fran says she wants a lot of statues, right? And this is where her little fucking knapsack that apparently she's always carrying around, like, comes back again. Because they break off the groin of a statue and tried to crazy glue it back together. And I'm like, yo, just leave the crotch alone. like, just leave it be. Like, if you got to pay for the statue, pay for the statue. It's your fault. But like, stop holding on to this thing, McConaughey. Like, why are you doing this? Now, McConaughey can do well at a romantic comedy, but I didn't find the scene funny at all. In fact, at the end of the scene, I was like,
that's all he did for a good while.
Like, what was the point of that scene? Like, it's not.
It was, you needed it. That's how they made up. If that wouldn't have happened, they wouldn't have never made up. They made up.
You needed it? Go ahead.
Yeah, because they worked together, they like played, and then they said she took the thing off his hand, and then they apologized for being whatever, and then they fixed it all. So we needed that so they could fix it all. And then the next scene is another like really good part because she's all alone. I cry every single time.
Actually, this scene is probably my actual cut that out because there was no point. There was no point to this. Like, I don't need to know why Mary is no good at relationships. Like,
no,
like it's not
because you plan weddings.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter to me why she isn't good at relationships. Like she found the guy that she likes. Why isn't she good at relationships? So they go to this flower vineyard, basically, or this flower area to pick out some flowers and whatnot. And she apparently sees who we have never seen before and has only been mentioned once by name, Keith. You know, the fiance she broke up with 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Because he got back with his high school sweetheart, and now they have a baby on the way. And it's like, like, ouch, I'm so sad for you. It's been 6 years. Like,
see this?
That really hurts.
See this face? This is
it may be, but it puts them in a situation where he's able to like be there for her, and it just develops their relationship even more. That's why I'm saying it ain't 2 days or 48 hours. There y'all saying.
So I guess
time.
It's okay. They may the relationship may have been developing, but it was a pretty much love at first sight thing kind of between them, right?
They met Friday. They got together on Sunday. Come on now.
How much time has it been since the hospital to this now week-long? We're hanging
8 hours, a work shift.
It has not.
It may have.
It got to be a solid like 2 months.
No,
a month.
No. Now the wedding, she said that she wanted to do it within 6 months. So we know that it's within that time period of 6 months, right? Which is okay, fair. You know, you can fall in love in 6 months. That makes sense. But from like the time they were out until like now is probably is maybe like 2 weeks.
Y'all killing me. Maybe
2 weeks.
Maybe.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward this because we're spending too much time on this episode now. Basically, what obviously happens. You know, they kind of confront their feelings about each other and say, what if this was to happen? And Mary decides to do the smart thing and turn him away, and just basically say, no. You know, you are in this committed relationship, and, you know, I can only see you as this for now. So then Fran, for whatever reason, basically says, I ain't so sure if I'm still in love with Steve, you know, which is obviously setting up for what's going to happen. But she convinces Fran to continue on with the wedding. At like this birthday party, Massimo offers Mary a very heartfelt proposal, and I'll give it this: it was heartfelt. It felt good, and for someone that probably works. You know, um, of course, she reluctantly says yes to the wedding. Now, this is where the shitty thing happens, though. She plans the wedding on the day that the other two are getting married. Like, come on, man. You are the wedding planner.
This is shitty to me. That's more like petty, if you ask me. But
no, it's so petty.
But I also think like when Eddie goes to Bridget Wilson and goes, "You don't want to get married." Right. How you gonna tell her she don't want to get married?
He's all like, "Why you want to marry me?" Like
Anyika, I tell you, no, we're going through the whole thing. We're getting, wedding planner, the whole, we're good to go. Day of, you don't want to do this.
She's wearing this dress. It's beautiful.
She's like, what the fuck?
Right. At first, she's like, "What the fuck?" And then, like, afterwards, she's all like, "No, yeah, no."
Well, you're right.
It's like,
you're
what?
Right.
What?
I don't.
I'm so mature and immature. It's why I can't put McConaughey as that guy. So at this town hall, Massimo and Mary prepare to marry. But her father basically stops the ceremony, realizing the wedding is not what Mary wants. But Mary, having given up on true love, insists life is not a fairy tale, and marry Massimo is the right thing to do. But realizes he's not the one for her and leaves, which is just shitty to Massimo. Because like all this guy has pretty much done is like go for you, right? Of course he was a bit chauvinistic at first, but the dude's obviously in better shape than McConaughey. He just outclasses him in basically everything. He said he'd be there to take care of you. He can cook a mean mac and cheese. Like
a mean one.
He's got stuff going for him,
He released her. He told her to go away.
All right. Steve arrives to find Salvatore, who's the father, and Massimo reveals they could not go ahead with the wedding, knowing Mary was actually in love with Steve. Steve reveals his feelings to blah blah blah. Whatever.
So this is what, like, if we're gonna wrap the movie up, Anyika, you should wrap it up in the most in your most I'm into this moment, including the sound.
Oh, while I'm crying, this is usually the part where I'm like all teared up. And
let us have it. Wrap it up.
All right, go ahead. Send it home.
Well, I'm not as good as Dave, but he comes to the church. He finds out that she didn't get married. He hops on the back of the motorcycle. He takes her to the tree, and then she's doing what he was doing, crying, going through the M&Ms, which is super cute. And there it is. They dance and they fall in love. Oh,
there it is. Yep.
That's the wedding planner.
That is the wedding planner. Without spending too much time on it, I'll go with the nigga first. Do I dare ask, would you watch this again?
Huh? Oh, I've watched this movie like 10, 11 times. In my adult days. And I'll probably watch it again next week. I love this movie. And I own it on DVD. Don't get that look off your face.
She's watching Wedding Planner. I'm watching 7.
That's all.
I'm watching 7. Watch the Wedding Planner for sure.
That's all you, bro.
Yeah. Takeaways. Let's do it. Anyika, our guest for today, who is getting your That Guy award?
Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Yes.
Why? You like
he's
barf hair.
cute and he's just I don't know. I just love him in this movie. Like I just love him in this movie. Well, I love him in a lot of movies. I just like him.
That chick or
Penny. I could have used more of her. She was funny, and I liked her character, and I wish she would have been in there a little bit more. But
she's
Penny,
just so awkward to me.
I know, but that's what makes her cute, and she's
No,
like
it makes her
a
awkward.
good
It makes the
a good
situation very
cheerleader.
weird. That full of work.
Oh, Massimo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely a fool.
Let's go with does it hold up?
What? No, cut
To
that
me,
out.
it does.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Cut that out. Thank you,
Nah,
Dave. Nothing.
I'm not cutting out anything.
You would cut nothing out. Now one thing, a weird place extra that's just kind of really fucking the whole scenery up. Nothing.
No, I just felt like all the pieces were needed in order to tell the story. In order to get them together at the end, you needed all of that.
All right. Does it hold up?
To me, it does. Like I said, I still watch it.
I know. Yeah, I know for sure. And the iconic scene
The tango.
when they first discovered that they actually know each other.
No, when they dance, I like it.
Oh, the end, you mean?
No. In the middle of the movie, the
Yes,
tango dance.
the dance.
See, once again,
I think
this movie left my brain. It completely left my brain. Neff, who's getting your that guy award?
Massimo. I'll tell you why. like this cat has so much going for him than just like some pediatrician who can't even do 65 pull-ups. No, at the end of the day, Massimo is a guy that realized that the woman that he may enjoy and like just doesn't see eye to eye. Just doesn't see eye to eye for him. And so instead of turning this into like kind of like this revenge story or whatnot, he gives her the ability to let go. He also isn't a jerk in this movie. Really, all he's doing is pining for her love, and like, yeah, he says bad things that she should have confronted, but she didn't. When she didn't, it led people to believe certain things. Could have made him look like a jerk. Decided not to.
That chick award.
I will give it to J.Lo. J.Lo carries this movie. There are moments where she's legitimately funny, and then there are moments where I'm just staring at her ass. It's a win-win situation for me. What can I really say?
It still landed on meh. Meh. All right.
It is a meh movie. I can't say I hated it. Because I laughed more. This movie really needs a better writer. I mean, this director and writing team literally went nowhere. So that's kind of what I feel about that.
That full award.
I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it to Steve. Because, like,
what does Steve do?
Outside of, ruin his own relationship, and outside of basically attempting to cheat on his girl, that dude's not faithful. Let's call it like it is. You think he's going to be faithful to?
Oh, Steve, Eddie,
Steve, Eddie, whatever.
I forgot this movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Steve, Eddie, McConaughey. All right.
All right.
He's not faithful. He's good with kids. He's got a problem with black people, apparently, with brown M&Ms. He's got vomit-inducing hair, and he can't even do 65 pull-ups. Yeah, so, no, he's a fool.
Gotcha. Cut that up.
The whole statue, or no. I'm wrong. I'll keep the statue scene, but I'm cutting out the Keith scene because it's in an awkward place in this movie. And honestly, like after a 6-year relationship, you should have a general idea of like who you kind of want to be with. You know, you should have a general idea of like what you kind of feel. I know that sounds pretty naive of me to say, but I've turned down relationships now, you know, and I've been single for the last 3 years, you know, mainly because I know it wasn't right. It wasn't right for me. The whole her still kind of holding this thing over Keith, it's like, yo, like not all relationships end in the exact fashion they're supposed to be. Sometimes just kind of let shit go.
Does it hold up?
No. It is literally made for people who are fans of the year 2001.
Fair enough. And
I am not a fan of 2001.
You're not a fan?
I like this movie.
You could have fooled me by how much.
But I like this movie.
Do you like Save the Last Dance?
No.
Oh, that's right. You don't. I forgot.
No.
You like Fast and Furious? First one? Never mind.
Iconic scene.
Iconic scene? The Tango's a good is a good pick. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with the Tango. That's fine. You know, it's a good enough scene. It kind of brings out the best in both actors, and the dance was really nice. Plus, Fred Willer's chin hair, you know, was a character by itself.
Mm-mm.
My guy, who's getting that guy award?
That guy award is going to Mary's pops. He keeps it 100. I mean, I can't really say anything else. Like, listen, me and mom had an arranged marriage. We kind of like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had you.
How does she not know this at her age?
You never knew this at all? You never knew this. That's like me saying now at my age of 33, I never knew my father was from England the whole time. This whole time.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I thought he was from Compton. England? Let's go fucking sense. Yeah, Pops keeps it real. Pops.
That chick award.
I give the J.Lo just because it's her movie. She does carry it. She at least keeps it to where you like to watch her and watch her interactions and not just her ass, but you know her ass do look good. But I can at least get through the movie watching her go through this completely idiotic problem that she has. But at the same time, it's like, all right, I can deal.
That full award.
Massimo. He didn't know his job. He just does. Like, if this is real life, Massimo would have got punched out a long time. Like, who is this dude trying to match me in, like, athleticism? What is this? Like, yeah, you can do some stuff, chin ups, but can you fight?
Not match. Bypass. Yeah, he can fight. Bro, McConaughey was trying to wrestle him, and Massimo was taking him down.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
He did. He's
playing. Well, I'm going to have to shoot Massimo there because you're not going to take me down. Nah, we're not doing that.
Steve would have gotten punched out. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
The whole movie.
Massimo's involvement.
Right. There was a part of me that was getting ready to answer that, even though he was my that guy award. like I'm like, what is the point of Massimo's character at the end?
Because the one thing that always stuck with me, like even when I saw it years ago, watching Massimo, I said, why is he here? Like, there's no point of him being in this movie at all. However, you can't say it keeps the movie going. Anybody can play this part. Why is he here?
He's literally like the amount of time he should have been in this movie is the arranged marriage. And it really should have been like a whole thing of the dad trying to hook up. The movie would have been better if it was like the dad trying to hook up J.Lo with a whole bunch of different dudes. Like, and then they all wind up being in the wedding party when she actually gets married to McConaughey. That would have made this movie a lot better. Where it's like, she doesn't really have any friends outside of Penny, but for whatever reason, all these dudes are like at her wedding.
Oh, and for the record, Penny was almost very close to being that for sure.
I mean, she is right there.
She was teetering. She was there. She was very close. But Massimo Massimo, definitely.
Does it hold up?
No, it don't. It's presenting a time in life that doesn't exist at all. But furthermore, God,
because a whole bunch of people still watch it.
Well, that's good for them. But what I can tell you is when the movie ends and Love Don't Cost Dead come on, I'm like, ugh, extra salsa. Hey, did you love this movie? Boom, 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 boom. And we got a kid, man. Yes, you. I remember when that part. I remember when the song comes on in the theater. I ran out. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. No.
Fair enough.
No.
And finally, is there an iconic scene? I know. It's the credits.
No, because the credits includes Love the Most Thing. So no, I'm not gonna do that. Is there an iconic scene?
You can't even remember the movie.
Yeah. There is an iconic scene because it's in the trailer. It's a horrible line. It's a corny, horrible line. But of course, after McConaughey saves her in the middle of the street of a busy San Francisco intersection, whatever.
By the way, why are they still in the middle of the street during that?
Like 10 fucking minutes! Get out the street!
I got that too. I'm like, get out of the street. You don't need to be out.
Get out the street!
You don't need to be having this conversation.
Take this shit on the sidewalk!
It's not going to stop this.
But he's holding her in the street. Get out the street. But the camera cuts to her and she goes, you saved my shoe. Petty of me, if I was in that position, I would have dropped it right there.
Be like, bitch.
I said, you would have heard, ow! You know what I'm saying? That would be her skull hitting the concrete. Okay, at that point. And then you're still in the middle of the street, so now it's really on you now because these cars they're gonna keep going.
And waving cars over.
Sorry, yo, come on through. It's all good. Come on through.
No, good. Don't worry about it.
Or if she decides to lay in the street, I'm gonna push that same blue dumpster that almost killed her back up the hill and then push the shit back down the hill. You better move. You better get out the way. You better get out the way. Love don't cost a thing. You better move. I know that much. Quick hits. You ready?
Sure.
Jennifer Love Hewitt was developing a separate film with the same premise for her to star in, but was forced to cancel the project when this film was released. I can't take two of these. I'm just going to tell you right now. I can't do two of these.
No. In the movie at the park scene where Steve/Eddie is throwing away the Steve/Eddie. The fact that they had to write that shit is so stupid.
Dr. Steve/Eddie
is throwing away the colored M&Ms. Mind you, they did the colored M&Ms. All of them are colored. He says he only eats the brown ones, believing they have the least artificial coloring because chocolate's already brown. The fact is likely to be the opposite. It is likely that the lighter colored M&Ms have the least artificial coloring because it takes less food coloring to make lighter colors. While on the other hand, it takes many colors / food coloring to mix a darker chocolate brown color. Considering he is a children's doctor, it seems a strange oversight. Damn. Even the quick hits like threw some shade. They're like,
This is stupid. That's why.
You should know this.
You know what? I don't like black people. There, I said it. I said it. Sue me. Brendan Fraser was set to play the role of Dr. Steve / Eddie, but scheduling conflicts with filming the movie The Bedazzled prevented him. Thank God he got bedazzled.
That same taxi driver in the beginning of the movie with the ice cream cone that hits the dumpster that Steve saves Mary from is the same taxi driver that drives Steve to City Hall with a neck brace now towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when Mary is giving Penny reasons why she doesn't want to be with Massimo, she says he kept asking her if she had a vagina. Penny says maybe he wanted to be a doctor. Justin Chambers, who plays Massimo, later plays a doctor named Dr. Alex Karev in Grey's Anatomy.
In the theatrical trailer, Columbia Pictures woman is wearing a wedding dress. Confusingly, in 2020, in Ireland, that version removed the Columbia logo and started with the independent production company logo. What does Ireland have against weddings?
Who knows? That's Wedding Singing, good people. Special guest, Miss Anyika Hunt, thank you so much for rocking with us today. We appreciate you. Thank you very, very, very much. You gotta come back soon, like you always do. You know, you're definitely now another family member to the Back to Classes crew. Where can they find you?
You're now in the Rolodex.
Yeah. I'm on
You're in the
IG.
Palm Pilot.
In the Palm Pilot. Nobody's
There's
ever
one person in the Rolodex for sure. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm on IG, Dan Stitz with a Hunt. Facebook, Anyika Hunt.
Nice. Danger Neff, thank you for getting through this movie with me, because
you don't remember it.
I don't. I really don't.
Jay was literally like, "Hey, we got the wedding planner this week. Who's going down this movie?" And I'm like,
Duval was like, "No, not me." Oh, cool.
No, not me. I'm like,
So they said, "You know what? I got shit to do that day. I just can't do it." No.
He's playing GTA. We all know that's what he's doing.
Clearly.
You can always find me on IG, Facebook, Twitter at David Danger Neff. I don't post a lot to my personal account. I'm letting Jay really take over the IG account while we try to improve those numbers for the Facebook group. This upcoming month, we will be doing a bracket challenge for best love movie or romantic comedy. Haven't quite decided which one of those.
You should be all in on this, Mickey.
Oh, you should be. I want to hear a lot from you on this one. We will be dropping that. I expect to go throughout the month of February instead of like ending on Valentine's Day, because I think that's weird. So please be on the lookout for that. I am also doing another Grow This Group challenge with the goal having this group hit over 1,000 members. We are currently at 904 members since the end of November. So I want to grow this group. I want to get it over 1,000, with the goal being by the end of 2021 to try to get this group over 2,000 members. So please make sure you do so. The person who invites the most amount of people that get accepted into the group and decide to join the group will win a $50 Amazon gift card, or whatever gift card of your choice is, or maybe even a date with me. I don't even care anymore. So, we could just kind of do, whatever. I guess play video games or whatever.
Hi, Dave. Can I get down with that day still?
You know what, girl? You could get a 3-piece instead of a 2-piece.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Extra gravy. So you can always find me there. So yeah. My guy Jay Alonso, where can they find you?
Well, you can probably watch it 7 to get the wedding planner on my head right now, but I watch it 7 right now. But anyway, you can find me on all the social medias at official J Alonso on IG, at J Alonso on Facebook, what else? J Alonso on Twitter. I had to change it. It is what it is. Like Dave said, the Facebook page, Back to Classic, a movie talk page, and a movie talk group are up and pumping. Go ahead, jump in there and join the conversations. We have so much fun in that group. It's nuts. Turn My Mic Up is back.
I can't keep up.
Oh yeah, Turn My Mic Up is back. Huh?
So I have a I don't think your people who are a part of this are allowed to win because that ain't fair. I'm just gonna throw that out there, Dave.
It's my money. You don't tell me how to spend my money.
Turn My Mic Up is back.
This is my money. You don't get to tell me how to spend my money.
Turn My Mic Up is back out. New episodes every week. Check that out. I've said it, didn't say it, whatever. Follow us. We just completed our first month of 2021. Thank God. Get ready for the super fun, ultimate inspiring artist showcase with the late great Chadwick Boseman. With that being said, we'll see cats on next week. That's it. This is Back to Classics. I'm your boy Jay Alonso. With me, of course, is
Change enough.
We'll see you post next week. Once again, big shout out to Anyika Hunt right there. Mwah! Peace out.
Bye.
See ya.